Usher situation. Now, you guys know I usually do videos on current topics, current people, celebrities and things like that based on technology, but this video on Usher isn't necessarily going to be about his zodiac sign, although I mean I'll touch on that and say a little bit about that, but it's more so just people's reaction getting on my fucking nerves because I don't understand the fascination. Okay, we all like gossip, we all like the word on the street, most 99% of us, even if we don't really participate and we don't pass it on. We all like entertainment. That's why TV is popular. That's why the cell phones are popular. We all like entertainment. And when something's going on with somebody, even if you're not the type of person to pass the gossip on or pass it from person to person, we all like something to break up the monotony of our everyday boring ass, sorry ass fucking lives. But I don't see the fascination with Usher, with it coming out that Usher has herpes and that he gave it to somebody else. Now, I know he's a celebrity, so the things you do are going to be in the media, but I really just don't get, like, people passing it around, making it a joke. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. Number one, because people, you don't look at people and tell who has STDs, and many of the motherfuckers out here is walking around with them, because I don't know if you see, like I see on social media, or you hear through your friends of this pet person or that person, everybody's fucking everybody. So we like to act like nobody has anything and other people don't have these things, but they do. So it's just like people want to turn the lens off of the depressing ass things that go on in their life and turn it on somebody else. And not that, you know, I'm necessarily sticking up for Usher. I don't give a fuck about him, you know what I'm saying, one way or the other than him just being a human being, that we all should, you know, care for humanity. But when it comes down to it, I don't really give a fuck about Usher and what he's doing, because the normal person don't have 1.1 million or however much he paid somebody off. But the bigger point is when somebody's personal business is spread about like that, and you know what, maybe it's karma, you know what I mean, maybe it's for paying for your actions when you go around, because I'm telling you, that's why you can't sleep with everybody. You can't, I mean, and you just can't sleep with everybody. But I look around, I turn around and, you know, this person's pregnant, that person's pregnant, so-and-so done stuff together. So it seemed to me like everybody doing it without condoms. So people have to have more diseases than they say they have it. And I personally know of some people's intimate stories that would just make you cringe as far as diseases go and things like that and what's really going on. You know, I never pass those stories out. They're things I would never tell, you know, that people have confided in me. But I mean, you really don't know what's going on out here, and people don't give a fuck about you. It'll be the very person that you lay with, you know what I mean? And people take, you know, cheating so lightly, and they don't care about going out here and cheating, people messing with other people. But people don't think about the fact that those diseases are very, very real. And you could turn around and have some shit that you can't get rid of, you know. But people, I realized after some of the things I heard, I realized at the end of the day, people really don't care because they don't give a fuck about themselves. So like I said, it's not a pity party for Usher because he ain't going through nothing that regular people don't go through. But it's just the fact that, okay, I guess we can bring up the fact that he's a Libra. So, you know, for Libra, if any of you know Libras, I find Libras to be an over-sexualized sign. I ain't saying, when it comes down to Libras, to me, they're not really freaky. They're not really passionate. They're not really like, you know, they're not one of the signs where they put their all into love making and they really know how to get down and really have one of the best experiences. I wouldn't put Libra in that category, but I would say Libra is an over sexualized sign, meaning as though they just like to have sex a lot. Some of them may be, and this is not all Libras. Of course, if I'm saying anything on the negative side, it's for the ones that's operating from a negative, from their lower chakras. It's not from their darker side. It's not going to be all Libras, because a lot of Libras might not do this. But a lot of Libras that operate from their darker side, they're very oversexed and they're very highly sexualized, just because it's that air element of wanting to experience different people. They rule the area of the body, like the buttocks and thighs and things like that. So they are attracted to the body, and they are a social sign. I find that all of the air signs tend to be, when I say over-sexualized, I don't mean like doing it a lot with one person. I mean, they're the kind of people that can do it with random people. Your Aquarius, your Gemini, and your Libra. They can hop into bed with random people. If you are an air sign and you watching this, don't take it personal. I'm saying those who operate from their lower nature. You may be one of those signs, but you never were really wired like that. It may be some other things in your chart that even out that air nature. But if any of you can back that up, or you know what I mean, go ahead and comment below. A lot of air signs, they will sleep with multiple random people for the experience, because air signs are already like that. If they're already social, they already like to be around different people. Whereas a water sign like myself, I don't give a shit about meeting random people, being out around people, going to parties, meeting people. I'd rather be at home or in a friend's house in a comfortable, familiar environment with the same people I've known forever than to get out into the world and meet different people. Like, that's just not my thing. So if I don't like to meet different people, then obviously I'm not going to be having a lot of sex with different random people. But air signs, of course, that same friendliness can turn into carry right over into their sexual life, with sleeping with many different random people. So that's one thing that I can see in Usher being a Libra, and it doesn't help that he's a male and he has money. But how people, sometimes it's not what you do all the time, it's how you do it. It is what you do. I don't even like that saying. It's what you do, but even more so, what makes it dirtier is how you do it. So they're saying, and like I said, I didn't give a fuck enough to go and look up the story, because his business is plastered everywhere. And that's really why I made the video, just to say, why do people, just like people who sit there and record fights or record people being hurt, why do people participate in spreading this kind of stuff around when it's such negativity and people want to laugh and mock, but motherfuckers walking around with the same shit that Usher got? You know what I mean? So I just find people very, very happy when negative things happen to other people, so it takes the focus off their life. You know what I mean? I find it kind of disgusting that his business is going around all willy-nilly. I mean, everywhere you turn today, it's about damn Usher in this lawsuit with this herpes case. So that's one thing I say about the Libras, and what's even grimier about it. That's why I say, you know, what goes around comes around. Everything you do to people, that's why I don't worry about when people, I'm not going to say I don't worry about it, because of course you think about things when people do you wrong, but I don't worry about it too much where people do me wrong, or I feel like I've been wronged by somebody, because I know the universe is going to deal with them. You know what I mean? I'm not always perfect, and I definitely make mistakes, but I try to treat other people the way I want to be treated. I'm not a grimy person. I can't, you know, really do things to other people that I know will hurt them on purpose. You know, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be open, upfront, and outright with you. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't have no problem sneaking around and doing grimy shit. And it's all fun in games while you doing it. But then when you pop up with a hurt, or you pop up with something like this, then it ain't fun no more. So the story is saying the woman who sued him was the bridesmaid that was in his wedding with his ex-wife Tamika. And I know anybody who keeps their ear to the ground on social issues, you all remember that. I mean, she was on a TV show, the ex Tamika, she was on that reality show. I mean, that was like public knowledge that she was saying he slept with the bridesmaids. I think that was a part of the divorce and everything like that. Like, she found out he slept with a bridesmaid. So we all already knew. Whether this is truly the woman that sued him or not, we already knew Usher slept with the bridesmaid. So like I said, it's what you do, but even more so it's how you do it. You didn't even have the decency to go, and this is like a lot of men do this, and I'm sure a lot of women probably do it too. You don't have the decency to go far outside your circle to somebody nobody would ever know, and at least to your knowledge, that person is not connected with your significant other in any sort of way, and do what you have to do then, if you're going to do what you got to do. Because if you're going to do what you want to do, because you don't have to do anything. But people are, we just animals. You know what I'm saying? They say we the highest evolved and with the most evolved brain, but I don't fucking believe it. Because it seems like it's animals. People call, they don't call us animals. They call us what? Humans, mammals. I don't know what the fuck they call us, humans. But we really animals. Just like I'm riding past these deer right now. I see the deer over in the bushes. We animals, just like the fucking deers, the lions, and everything else. We're the same. We're just a different type. And they say we have the most evolved brain, but I don't think so, because humans just do some disgusting and vile shit. So, him being a Libra, having that money, being over-sexualized, probably used to getting anybody and anything that he want. He goes and he sleeps with this woman, whether this is the one that the STD was passed to or not. It just goes to show you how trifling he is with his sexual nature. Because you got married. Did you get married to cover up something? Are you possibly gay? If you guys are familiar with the zodiac signs, there are many a person, and one day when I get the time, I'll get around to some videos like this, but there are many an astrologer who consider Libras is one of the gayest signs, and actually they include Libra and Taurus because of that rulership by Venus. It's a very feminine nature. Venus is about luxury, and on the negative side, Venus can be the excess of luxury. Venus can be the excess of pleasure. So a lot of times, and I know personally from knowing Tauruses, a lot of times they will indulge in the excess of passion, the excess of sex, the excess of whatever on a pleasurable, tangible, worldly basis that they find pleasure in. They can overindulge if they're operating from their lower nature. So with that Libra, Usher's birthday is October the 14th, I believe. So with that Libra, if I had the time, I should have pulled up his chart and really looked at some other things in his birth chart to really see. I wonder if there is some other strong, heavy air energy, maybe even some Pisces energy, and is there any Scorpio energy in his chart, as well as the aspects that are going on. But you see how he's really operating from his lower nature. I mean, you just got married, and I don't remember the stories from back then, guys, but some of the story might have been, did he sleep with the bridesmaid like at the wedding or after the wedding? He just happened to be hooking up with her. Either way, it was the bridesmaid in your wedding. And that's what I said. Did he get married, getting back on that tangent, did he get married to cover up homosexuality? Because everybody thought that marriage to Tamika was weird, but obviously Usher has some mom issues. He likes older women, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with men liking older women. It's nothing wrong with that, but it still shows something about your character. Your likes show things about your personality and your characteristics. And Usher seems to have always had some issues with his mom. Remember, she was his manager, and his current wife, Grace Miguel, she was his former manager, and now she's his wife. So again, like I said, he has some mother issues going on, and a lot of times I find that Libras will have some mama or daddy issues going on, but shit, who doesn't? But anyway, so with Libra being one of those signs, I'm like, well, is he covering up some possible homosexuality? And that could tie back into, like I said, Venus, as well as Libra being that air sign, hopping around from person to person. And when you're operating from a lower nature, that extends over into sex. It's fine to have, I'm not saying because I'm not that way, that's not fine. It's fine to be social and have a wide circle of friends and like to get around and meet new and different people. But to carry it over into the bedroom with a lot of people, that's a whole nother thing. Now, on the flip side, you may find, like I said, Libras who don't operate from that place, you may find they have a lot of friends, but they don't jump in bed with all of them. So I just want to make a point how I'm talking about the lower nature, not the higher nature. But anyway, so, and I'm sure he's a very likable and charming personality. I never met him a day in my life, but of course he came out during the time where we're probably about the same age. Usher is an artist that I grew up on. He was hot when I was younger and I was coming up and I was a teenager. So, I'm sure, and I never met him in a day in my life, but he seems to have a very charming personality. He seems to be a nice person, and that's what Libras are. They are They can get you in a good friend mode. They're good friends at the end of the day. You just, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's where it ends with Libras. It's just good friends. But obviously he charmed that girl or whatever he did, you know, and he ended up messing with a bridesmaid. So it just goes to show you how what goes around comes around, especially if this is the same woman who is now saying that he transmitted this STD to her. So women, first of all, like I said, I made this video to say, be careful before you laugh at and you mock and you spread other people's business, because I'm sure STDs, the ones you can get rid of and the ones you can't, are floating around, and more people, way more people crotches than they would have you believe. Number two, women, be careful who you sleep with. And I'm talking to the women and the men, because the men, I'm talking to the women and the men, but I'm focusing on the women because number one, I'm a motherfucking woman, and number two, a lot of times men can't do what women don't allow. And I truly believe that. We complain about men, and we complain about men, and we complain about men, but men couldn't do half of the things they do if women did not allow that shit. So you have to be careful with who you sleeping with. It's like nobody, the moral barometer has gotten less and less, our moral barometer, because back in the day, if people had affairs, families on the side, kids on the side, I was just talking to my mom about this. You ain't know till, you know, that man still stuck at home with his family. You ain't know he had some kids until they showed up at the damn funeral, like, you know, crying and they making a scene. I know black people done been to a funeral like that, where his wife sitting up there on the front row, and then you see, you know, this other wife and other kids come in, and the whole funeral done up in the uproar. You know what I mean? I've been to a funeral like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying how times have really changed, because people don't give a fuck. They mess with your significant other in your face, creep in your house, in your bed. You know, people don't care about themselves, so they don't care about anybody else. So women, you really have to be careful, because a lot of these things would not happen if we didn't allow men to do a lot of the things that they do. And men would have more respect for women if we had more respect for ourselves. So that's my quick video on this Usher shit. I'm going to post my Pisces tarot reading video. I did it a couple days ago, but I just been slacking with posting it. So I'm going to post that for you guys. So thanks for tuning in to Frequency Bro Radio. Glad we had this talk. And I'm out.